doing it now. And I want to just talk to you about that for a minute. For those of you who are hopping on live, watching it later, the power of doing something right now is absolutely incredible. I don't know if you've been to a gym recently, or to a track meet recently, or to a business conference, and everyone that you see being successful is somebody who finally just said, I'm doing it, and I'm doing it now. I'm gonna do it messy, I'm gonna do it weird, I'm gonna do it uncomfortable, I'm just gonna do it. So many of you know that my husband and I have 6 kids. Had we waited until we felt ready to have a baby, we would have none. We have moved a lot of times because we felt we need to move, and we made it happen. I wanted to cut my hair. I had really long curly hair my whole life. About 14 years ago, I decided, actually from the time I was in high school, I was like, I think it'd be fun to shave my head. And you know what? I was scared. What was I scared of? Probably other people's opinions. And it's funny because who cares? Who cares? I was listening to Alex Hormozy today, and it was really cool because he was like, all the negative comments everywhere can be summed up in a way that says, you choose to live your life differently than I choose to live mine. And isn't that cool? Isn't it incredible that we are able to choose how we live our lives in different ways? And that also I choose to make different sacrifices than many people. And I also live a different life than many people. My husband and I live in Florida because we want to, because we love the sun, we love the heat, we love the humidity. So we live here. We've been married almost 25 years. Not because it's been easy, but because that is what we want. We want to be married. And our long-term goal is to stay married. So I do the things right now, today, that help with that. And so does he. We have the hard communication and conversations now. We don't wait until. I was talking with my friend Emily the other day, and she was saying how ready is a choice. I'll be ready when is a choice. It's a decision. And it's really fascinating because I think we dismiss ourselves from this decision and from this, I don't know, need to choose by saying, well, I'll be ready when I have a house. I'll be ready when all the kids move out. I'll be ready when I have $1 billion. I'll be ready when I have a new car. I'll be ready when I've lost 80 pounds. And what's fascinating is that actually makes you less productive and makes the time pass quicker, because we're trying to live in the past, the present, and the future all at the same time. And that just compounds how quickly time passes. I was asked by my sister not too long ago, how do you have so much time in a day? How are you able to accomplish so many things? And I really think the secret is in a word that I learned when I was in massage school 25 years ago, and the word is beingness. I am being in the moment, in the time, in the energy right now. Am I also human and I jump around from the past to the future? Of course I do. I'm also human. The secret is, and the trick is, that I know how to come right back, and I'm in this moment. Another thing that Alex Hormozy said was, he talked about the power to do the boring things and to keep going. I actually did a walkie-talkie, I think last week, and maybe even on here, where I asked the question, what do you do when nobody's looking? And the responses I got were actually not where my mindset was. My mindset was, what do you do to grow and to become better when nobody's looking? So for example, I have been doing these videos for 3 years. 3 years. I've been holding my phone different ways. I've had different headphones, AirPods, microphones, but I've been doing it. I have put in the reps. I find that I can hold my arm out in front of me because I don't have I have a, whatever those selfie stick things are. I have one, but mostly I just use my arm. I can hold my arm up. You see me switch the phone back and forth, But for like 25 minutes, I've built up those skills because I started now. If I had waited to do this until, I wouldn't know how to do it right now. I would now be 3 years behind. I was talking to Reese yesterday, and we were talking about a whole bunch of, we're getting really deep, and it was cool because she said, we were talking about, you all have heard, I'm sure, you know, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now. And Reese is like, I wasn't even alive 20 years ago. Can we just say the best time to do something is now? I was like, you know what? Fantastic, let's do that. So instead of I'll be ready when, what if I'm ready? I'm ready now, and the way you show it is by doing it. I also learned recently that in a book I was listening to, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I think, or I don't know, I've listened to a whole bunch of business books lately that I'm not really sure. And so, interesting, all this stuff you guys are chatting at me. So I can't really see it because I'm outside walking. So I will look in a minute when I'm not outside. But they were saying that, I'm gonna say it here, and it's interesting because wealthy people make decisions quickly and change their minds slowly, and poor people make decisions slowly and change their mind rapidly. That was in a book, so it's not something I've come up with. It's in a book. Successful people make a decision quickly. Unsuccessful people take forever. They use excuses like, I'll be ready when? I'll be ready to go live when? And what's fun is, if you want to follow my journey, go back over the past 3 years. You'll see my face get bigger and smaller. You'll see my puffy eyes. You'll see me getting tanner and less tan. You'll hear my voice be different. You'll see the sun, you'll see the rain, you'll see sprinklers. And it's cool because I didn't wait until I was ready. The power comes in doing it now and then learning from your experience. Something I found out recently that I didn't know was Colonel Sanders of KFC. He actually pitched his idea when he was in his, I think it was 60s, like 65 is when he started pitching his idea about Kentucky Fried Chicken. And he had to pitch it over 1,000 times. Talk about sticking to something that you believe in. So, and then I also learned recently about Rocky, about how many times Sylvester Stallone pitched Rocky over and over, and one of the stipulations was that he played Rocky and he was in it, and over and over and over and over and over he got turned down. He got a no. How long is it before you quit when you get a no? The difference between success and actual failure is quitting. We stick to the boring things. We stick to it when nobody's watching. We stick to it when it's uncomfortable or when it's boring or when we'd rather just be scrolling or hanging out or doing nothing. We keep going. Entrepreneurs know in order to make a business work, you have to keep working on that business. In order to make a relationship work, you have to keep working on that relationship. In order to make a marriage work, you have to keep working on that relationship and also stay in that relationship. To get stronger, you have to keep lifting the weights. Sure, we're gonna go up and down in weight. We're gonna go up and down in strength. Of course we are. That's life. But if we quit because we think it's too hard, or I didn't get there as fast as it seemed somebody else did, do you know who's missing out? Me. Not all the people who are making comments, not all the people who are hating on you. I learned once you can tell when you're doing it right, when you have people applauding you and also angry at you. That's how you know that you're doing something right. Because if everybody agrees with you, chances are you're not even being authentic. You're not even saying how it really is. It's really fascinating. I wrote a book recently. I'm in the process. My daughter just designed a couple of covers. My husband helped me upload it to KDP. And I wrote the book while I was walking. I wrote the book like this because this is what I'm comfortable doing. I recorded my voice and I recorded stories of my life that have taught me lessons, and then transcribed it and put it into a book, a working book where you can learn and make it happen now. You won't say, well, I'll do it when, I'll be ready when. I give you the opportunity to spill your guts right now on the paper. Read it, learn it, do it. That's the very best way. When I was in massage school 25 years ago, we would have an hour of lecture and then we'd practice, we'd do it. So not only would we hear it and see it, we would feel it with our hands on our client, and then we would switch and we would feel it in our bodies from our partner. And that is how I've always lived my life. Once upon a time when I was a sophomore in high school, I remember looking at myself in my mirror, my room upstairs, and I was angry. I saw my face was angry, my fists were clenched, my jaw was clenched. I was angry. I remember walking around the schools, the halls in the school, and I was just mad all the time. I had a scowl on my face, and I looked in my face, and I decided right then, I'm not going to be mad anymore. Makes me think of Home Alone when he comes outside and the bad guys keep trying to break in, you know? And Kevin walks outside, opens the door, and he says, I'm not afraid anymore. Do you hear me? I'm not afraid anymore. And it's so cool because the thing that changed was inside of him. He decided he wasn't going to wait to be ready to not be afraid until his parents got home. That's how it was in the beginning, right? He was scared. And if you think that anybody who's brave enough to do something right now does it because they're not scared, you're wrong. There's a difference between confidence and courage. Courage is doing the thing that you're afraid to do anyways. Confidence is doing something that you've already conquered. Courage, right? You've already done it. You've already done this scary thing and you already know you can do it. That's confidence. That feels good. Courage feels gross. I learned that from Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy, that courage is what feels gross. And that's why a lot of people won't do it. That's why a lot of people say, I'll wait until I'm confident to try something new. And that doesn't even make sense. That's kind of like me saying, I'm going to wait till I'm 6'8" to make a video. I'm not going to be 6'8". But maybe if I make enough videos, I'll be able to stand in heels on a really big stage that's a foot or 12 feet above my audience, and all of a sudden I get to be a giant. Do you see? And I have stood on stages, on podiums, on pulpits, and I have spoken with my high heels on because I've gotten the confidence because of the courage it takes to do the thing. So I'm challenging you in this YouTube live video, to whoever stumbles upon it, whoever's watching it now, whoever hears this, to stop waiting until you're ready. Do it now. Get in the picture. Don't wait until you've lost 20 pounds. Laugh. Don't wait until you're so happy to do so. Smile in the middle of adversity, in the middle of challenges. Feel good. Even when everybody else says you have no reason to feel good. Find peace when it doesn't make any sense. It's incredible. People get confused all the time. Occasionally I walk down the street like this with both arms up, increasing my testosterone, giving my cortisol somewhere to go, powering up, feeling big, reaching up to Father God and down to Mother Earth. and I power up. And I cannot tell you how many times people honk and wave and shout. They even yell, "Happy walkie-talkie!" Isn't that fun? I have people honking at me, and it's incredible. And honestly, it's all because I didn't wait anymore. And I started when I was totally scared. I started 3 years ago when I didn't even know how to hold the phone. I started 3 years ago when I had no idea what I was going to say. And I continue to come on to Facebook and now starting to come on to YouTube and share the thoughts of my heart, because when I get activated, when I get in momentum, when I go on my walk, the stagnant energy is able to move, and I am able to feel better, to feel inspired, to get activated. That's what happens to me, and I want to share that positive energy with you. There's enough negative energy out there, and so maybe I'm like the guy walking on the beach who's throwing in a starfish one at a time. Can I save all the starfish? I really can't. But I'm gonna make a world of a difference to the one starfish that I throw back in. And if you are that one starfish, if I have encouraged you today to do a little better, to start now before you're ready, if you've had those dreams inside of your heart and mind, if you've been wanting to smile and have fun, but you were waiting until the circumstances were right, and if I've encouraged you, then this video is worth it. Absolutely. Well, you don't really mean that. Well, I do. I do. If you and I know each other, you know I mean that. And if we don't, and you continue to follow me, then you'll get to know that that's truly what I mean. When I come to you for a VIP day and you are in my presence, you will feel my sincerity, my love, and you will get lifted to a higher level quicker than you could even imagine. So as I'm wrapping this up, I encourage you. Oh, actually, before I wrap it up, I want to share an experience of a client. She was sharing with me how this summer had not gone as she had planned, and she was really frustrated. She had all these big plans, and so we'd spoken, and I had told her, start right now. How much more time do you have left in the summer? And we put together a plan. She said 1 week. We put together a plan, set up accountability, set up checks and balances, created a system. And just the other day, I got a message from her. I got messages all throughout the week, every single day. Messages, pictures, accountability, all throughout the week. Just the other day, she said, you know, I was just thinking to myself how this is the best summer ever, and I had forgotten about everything else, all because I decided to do it now, to follow your coaching, your guidance. I did it. It's fun because I don't want you to be dependent on me. I want you, I was gonna wait for this car, but they stopped for me. I don't want you to be dependent on me. I want to teach you the skills so that you keep doing it now. You do it bigger and better and stronger than you thought you could, because you didn't wait until you were ready. You started before you were ready. You started now. So I encourage you to start now. Remember, you are so much stronger than you think. And I'm walking with you. Have the very best day. Love you. Bye.